guys, it's American Farmer, and today we're going to be feeding with the TMR wagon and telling you about it and feeding them with silage. Let's go. Hey Dad, what are we doing today?
Well, we are mixing feed for calves. We're like a hotel for calves right now. In the wintertime, we got a bunch of calves here. We had a big drought last year, so we piled up our corn, chopped it up in a bunch of little bits, and we put it in a big pile. See that pile above you, right up in front of you? That's a silage pile. We'll go to the other side and dig out of it in a minute. This here is ground up hay we're putting in the mixer. This is called a TMR mixer.
What does TMR stand for?
Well, it's a total mixed ration. So we're gonna make up a nice meal for them. We're gonna put all the ingredients that they need to grow throughout the time that they spend with us, so they'll gain a little weight and we can get paid for it. Now we know how much we're doing because you look over there, you see that scale?
Oh yeah, it's pretty tiny.
Yeah, pretty tiny. Can you see it with the camera?
Barely.
Yeah, okay, well, we're gonna put a couple loads of hay in there, and then we're gonna add some silage, and basically we're gonna mix it up just like Mama makes dinner at home.
Yeah, only probably doesn't taste as good.
Probably so. Probably so. This was due to the drought. We had to chop a lot of our crops up because they weren't going to make anything otherwise to sell. So we had to chop them up and make it into cattle feed. Normally we don't carry this many calves through the wintertime, but this year's called for us we got the feed, so we better feed as many cattle as we can so that we can get paid for our crop. So that's what we're doing. We feed them. We're feeding this group the second time today. We usually feed them once a day, but they're starting to get bigger and they're eating a lot more. So we'll go around back here and show them the silage.
Okay, well, I thought this was silage. What was that?
That was ground hay.
Oh, ground hay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They come and they grind it up. That mixer can grind a bale up by itself, but it's just so much faster that we do it that way. So we're gonna dig into the silage pile, and then we're gonna get some of these DDGs. This yellow stuff here is called DDGs, and dry distilled grain is what it is. And basically what that is it's all the protein that they get left from using up corn in different ways. They'll leave it and they'll send it to guys like us. We have to buy it, and basically that's like their protein, their steak, you know, their meat for their meal. And this here is kind of like their spaghetti. We're giving them a bunch of energy. So what this is a silage pile. So in this pile is all that corn, and they packed it down really tight. They've driven on this and made it really, really tight. And you can see that the top rots and seals it up, and then you can see it's really hot there. See how the steam's coming off? See that? You can see that steam rolling off of there. Our glass is dirty, but anyway, basically what that does is it ferments in that pile. And those cows, when they eat it, they digest by processes of fermentation. So what we're doing is feeding them, basically we're feeding them half digested food, or as Mom would eat, she eats those, she mixes up those things in the blender, you know, they call them energy drinks or whatever you call it.
Protein shakes.
Protein shakes. That's basically what we're doing for them. And plus, that warmth and everything, that really does, they like to eat nice warm meal just like you do. So that's kind of a byproduct of doing that. So anyway, all this stuff mixed together, they get a half digested food that goes into them. Guess what they do when they eat that? They grow, and that's how we get paid. We keep these cattle on our farm for a little bit, and of course we keep cows too, but we keep these cattle on our farm so that they'll grow. And if they don't grow, we don't get paid. So we want to make sure their food is the best food source that they can have.
So that ground up grain over there, that when we just saw over there, what type of grain is it?
Corn. It's not grain. It's the whole corn plant. And maybe
the whole
later on
corn
this
plant.
year we'll be able to show them the silage making process, but this is the end product, so they get to see what it's going to be like in the summertime. But basically that whole crop gets chopped up just like a mower, and they put it into trucks and bring it here and pile it up and then stack it up there and roll over it as many times as they can to get it really tight, and then it ferments. And we're going to grab some DDGs here. And then you can hop out. Why don't you stay up here and show them what it looks like when we're digging and they can see the steam rolling off.
Okay, I'll do that. Let's go. Oh, you see that steam on the other side? It's rolling off there, like you said. There's a better picture. See, look at all that steam rolling right off of it. It's kind of like cooking itself in its own oven, basically.
Put your hands in it and smell it. It smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good. Smells really good. And it's pretty clean for what it looks like. Kind of reminds me of like that chips that you'd lay down in chicken coop. You can see that steam rolling off there. It's crazy. So he said he's gonna get some DDGs, and from what I figure is that the DDGs is just basically ground up corn and protein, like he said, of course. Well, that's fine. He's getting some DDGs. I'm here to witness this firsthand. He's gonna dump it in. That was pretty cool. So there's blades in there that are spinning really, really fast, and they're chopping all that up. It's covered by their food right now, so you can't really see it. But if you see right in that middle there, you can see see it churning and spinning. Those are powered by the PTO down there. It's spinning really, really fast. Don't want your leg or anything to get caught there. That'd be bad news. Okay, now we're gonna take this tractor and then we're gonna go to the pasture and feed them. Let's go. So after the calves are done at our place, since it's kind of like a hotel, where do they go?
Well, they'll go back to the sale barn. We'll buy a bunch of them, you know. We get them in here and they kind of stay here for a little while. We feed them through the winter, and then when grass kicks on, we'll take them back to the sale barn, and people want to put them out on wheat like this, out in the pastures, or on grass or whatever, and they'll keep them, and they'll probably keep them another few months or whatever, and then they'll sell them to the sale barn or to the feedlots, and you know, then they'll go to be made into hamburgers. So these guys are just here for a short amount of time, and like I said, we just try to take as good a care of them as we can while they're here. So
we're basically an improver.
Yeah, we're an improver. And in fact, we're called a backgrounder. That's the name of it.
Background.
Yep, a backgrounder. Yep. Why don't you get that gate?
Okay.
Here.
Dad kicked me out for gate duty again. Hey Dad, I have another question.
Okay.
Why don't we just have cows? Like just have mama cows?
Well, you know, we farm, so our whole job farming is to produce as much food as we can, and most of our food goes to down here where we live, like the corn goes to chickens. Well, you know, they produce food that way. Well, some years, like say, we don't have that opportunity to feed it to the chickens by selling it to the chicken farms and stuff, so we have to switch gears, and we always have cows, but you know, one thing about it, we can keep our cows and we can feed them, but we have all this food, so in a way we're kind of like I don't know, we're feeding, you know, taking cattle in to be able to feed our crop, and you know, it gives us an opportunity to still feed all that food that we had left over out in the field due to the drought. And it gave us an opportunity to take advantage of that, and all these calves get a chance to eat that and grow and be on our farm, and we take good care of them, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of a neat deal to be able to offer that. And you know, we'll still keep our cows and we'll still feed them, but we get to feed these calves along with it, and then all of a sudden they'll go to town, then we'll go back to farming. We'll farm all year long, and then we'll do it again in the wintertime. It gives us an opportunity through the winter to keep everybody busy, everybody doing something, keeps the equipment moving. This equipment doesn't get paid for just sitting still, you know, you gotta use it, you gotta make something with it, and so that's why we do it. Yeah. calves see here, they come on here weighing about 400, 450 pounds, and they'll leave weighing 600. So you can get out and watch them while we do this, and take a video of the calves.
Okay, let's do that. I hope you enjoyed watching us feed cows with the TMR wagon and giving them silage. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.